IPID has flagged discrepancies in the police's version of events in a shootout that happened in March of last year. 4 reported extortionists were killed in that shootout. Now, according to police, the suspects were shot dead inside the vehicle. That's 3 of the suspects, and 1 suspect died some distance from the main scene. But IPID says that this version is actually not consistent with the evidence contained in the docket. It appears that police, according to IPID, adjusted their version after a video circulated of the incident. IPID says it's now very clear that the deceased were at some stage inside the, outside of their motor vehicle, and that they were guarded by police officers who had high-caliber firearms. So it's difficult to explain then how they ended up inside the vehicle, shot dead by police. The police's version is that the suspect started firing from inside the vehicle. So let's take you live to Newzroom Afrika's Pila Mthembu. He is tracking this story. This is stunning stuff, Pila, because if police lied about how this incident unfolded and how the suspects were killed, that raises serious red flags.
Indeed, Michelle. And of course, you know, it would be interesting now to know what the findings are going to be. Well, at least a decision that is now going to be made by the DPP. Now, that's the Director of Public Prosecutions, as we do know that at this particular point, the matter is now there. And the IPID, of course, did say that they will not be commenting further on the matter until that particular decision is actually completed and made. And then only then they will be able to really, you know, communicate about it to the public. But just to take you back to last year, when we first met those families who were incredibly adamant that it was, in fact, the police that were on the wrong. Michelle, you'd remember that rolling coverage that we had been giving. There had also been, at some instances, protests by the community who have been saying that they are supporting these families because, one, the families actually disputed that those who had been shot and killed were in fact criminals. You'd recall that the statement that was made by police is that they were alleged extortionists, they were dealing in drugs, as well as they were really terrorizing the community. But when we actually had a look at how the families and well as the communities actually reunited to call for the justice, saying that they really stand by the fact that they believe that it was the police that were in the wrong. It's actually raised, you know, eyebrows over there, Michelle. But just to also take you back to March, when we saw also that crime scene where there was a video that's also circulated online. And now this is actually the video that the family really depended on to use as evidence, because when you look at that particular video, you'd actually see that there was that that red vehicle outside over there. And now when you see that red vehicle where these suspects were actually shot and killed inside, now this is where they were found inside. But when you look at the start of that video, you can actually see them being guarded by police. They were laid on the ground, and of course it is believed that they were disarmed at that particular moment. And then moments later, you get to see visuals, pictures on the police, the KZN subgroup, as well as a statement now showing these suspects, alleged suspects. Now these are, Michelle, really inside that vehicle where they are shot and killed. And of course there was that statement that was made by police. Now it also brings into question, Michelle, you know, the whole consensus when it comes to police confronting criminals. There have been instances, quite a lot of them here in KwaZulu-Natal, where police have said that they've been in a confrontation with criminals, and then these, of course, result in these alleged criminals being killed. And we have been covering all of those kind of stories where you had been seeing the suspects actually being collected. Now, it really brings into question with these developments, are the police always truthful when it comes to these kind of shootings? Are there, you know, cracks when it comes to these particular kind of shootings. And now with these particular findings, what does it mean for the family? What does it mean also about the integrity of the police? And really, when it comes to dealing with these kind of, incidents, Michelle. So we're also looking forward to also speaking to these families that have been fighting for their loved ones. It's really almost a year since the incidents happened, really just to get a sense of what does this actually mean now that these are these developments, Michelle. And are we also even going to hear from the police as well? What have they got to say about this? Because they did initially comment on their version of events, but now with this particular statement disputing these version of these events, where to from here? What is it that they have to say for themselves, Michelle? At this particular point, the matter is, of course, with the DPP, and a decision is going to be made. We're just going to have to wait and see what outcome is going to be coming out of there. Will there be enough evidence really to prosecute the DPP? Is the matter now going to go to court moving forward from here? I guess only time will tell.
Yeah, so according to police, when the vehicle stopped, the vehicle containing the occupants and the suspects, they started shooting from inside the vehicle. This is according to the police's statement, but of course the version shown in that video shows the suspects outside of the vehicle and being guarded by heavily armed police. So that certainly is a major discrepancy and one that is confirmed via video footage.